Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing well. So without wasting any time, let's move to the newspaper. First we will identify the important news and then we'll move on to the analysis section. So this is Friday, April 15, 2022, the Hindu Delhi edition. We are going to identify first the most important news and then we'll go on to discuss those news in capacity of our examination, right? And so let's begin. So there is nothing much on this side. Yes, this is important. IMD forecast normal monsoon, no El Nino this year. MP panel lands voiced against elephant trade. Okay, fine. Today's fees without government nod. Okay, there is nothing here on this page as well. Okay. There's nothing now. This one could be a case study in what? In ethics plus secularism plus unity in diversity section, right? We can use it directly. Okay. Okay. Davis Strauss win trademark infringement battle in Delhi High Court. Okay. Shared peoplehood. What is this about? I think. Okay, we'll try to see what he wants to say. Very briefly, I don't find it very important, but we'll give it a read for idea. Okay, window for interstate collaboration to breathe easy. Ideal opportunity to resolve air quality issue not required. The new cocktail not required. To read inflation. Okay. Beneficial as link language. Red star over Solomon Island. So China is there as well. Fine. We'll give it a read to the gist. Understanding sovereign debt crisis in Sri Lanka. Will give. I have already explained this, so we'll give a reading to the gist only. Okay. Semi-polarized world not required. Okay. We'll give this a read. Who adds these things to UAPA and how if the procedure is given, we'll get to know that also. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. There is nothing here. Again encounter in Sophian. Okay, going to ground faulty max simulator. Navy looks for indigenous copter variants. We have to say. Okay, this we can give a brief read, not much. Okay, we have to see this. Woman stands firm on her intersex baby, right? We have to see what is the problem here and if we can use this as a case study or not. Russia once again NATO enlargement. Okay. There is nothing here as well. Okay. We'll see very briefly. We know what it is, but we'll see it one more time. It has been timed. That lastly article related to capex of budget has been there. Okay. Now let's see. Where led Asian central bank inflation battle. Okay, we'll give it a read what it has to say. IPL things. Okay, so yes, we are at end of this identification part, and we have identified most of the important news, and now we go on to analyze the same. Okay, so this is our first news. IMD forecast normal monsoon, no El Nino, right? Let's see. Meteorological department updates long period average rainfall to 87 centimeter. So it has been updated to 87 centimeter. IMD were forecasting a normal southwest monsoon for this year, also revised down what the definition of what constitutes average rainfall. The press briefing said, agency said that India would get 99% of LPA, changed from 89 to 88 in 2018 and now to 87 in 2022. Okay, so for initially it was 89, now it is 87. Monsoon is considered to be normal when rainfall falls between 96 to 104% of long period average. Okay, IMD does not expect an El Nino, a phenomena which is associated with warming of central Pacific and drying up of rain over northwestern India the coming monsoon. Okay, the currently La Nina conditions are prevailing over equatorial Pacific. La Nina is opposite of El Nino. Okay, so El Nino leads to subdued rainfall in India, La Nina leads to enhanced rainfall in India. Okay, and right now what is there? Right now the condition of La Nina is prevalent over the equatorial Pacific, so India is expecting to get normal or above normal rainfall. Okay, the latest forecast indicate that it will continue during the monsoon. Current indications suggest normal to above normal rainfall in northern parts of the peninsula, central India and Himalayan foothills. Many parts of northeast India are expected to see a subdued monsoon. Okay, now rainfall pattern. 89 centimeter average was computed based on 50 years average from 51 to 2088 based on 61 to 2010, and now it is 71 to 2020. Over a century, the average rainfall changes every decade with roughly 30 years of declining trend followed by 30 years of upswing. So what is the indication? In a year, 30 year down, then 30 year up, then 30 year down, then 30 year up, like this. Currently, India is at end of dry epoch and we see to be entering a wet epoch. The next update will be after a decade, he said. Okay, so next update will be made after a decade, right? So currently we are now in what? We are in currently now in a end of dry epoch, means will be, it's like this, 30, 60. Okay, very in a lemon type. If we make a graph like this, so we are somewhere here and we are going to enter this way. So then there will be a wetter period that is waiting for us, right? Okay, let's see if any other news was there on this page. I don't remember, but let's see. No, nothing was there, nothing here, nothing was here. Yes, this was Billur historic Chinnakeshwara temple strikes a note of harmony. Maulvi reads excerpts from Quran to make start of Rathotsav. I have been participating in the festival for the last 50 years. The Maulvi said, who read the parts from Quran to mark the beginning of Rathotsav. Okay, at Bellur. His forefather had read out during the festival, and his children will continue to do the same. Okay. So just know this thing as a case study. Not more than that. We don't have space and time. We have space and time constraint. We cannot write everything there, right? Even this case study would be very specific to this thing only, to unity in diversity and harmony section in ethics or in paper 1. Okay. And as usual, we'll be doing the editorial and explained page at last. First we'll analyze most important news. Look. Yes, Zagar added to terrorist list under UAPA, right? Let's see. The Ministry of Home Affairs designated another individual. So who designates it? MOH, right? Yeah, or MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, under UAPA. Alias Mustaq Latram, resident of Srinagar, has gone to Pakistan for training and all those things. Zagar of Navhatta, okay, his address is given. Threat to global peace. He was a threat to global peace attempt to murder, kidnapping, planning, execution of terrorist attack and terror funding, etc., etc. Okay, so we have to. Jagar is the first individual to have been designated a terrorist in last 1 week and 35th to have been declared so far. So he is the 35th to be declared so far by government. Okay, so just know this. It is added by the individuals, are names of individual to terrorist list and the UAP are added by Ministry of Home Affairs. Fine. Okay, let's see if any other news is there. There is this, nothing here. Don't think anything was there on this page. Yes, this is there. Let's see. Navy looks for indigenous copter variants. HAL, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, right, is preparing a detailed project report on configuration and overall cost. Defense sources are saying this. To meet its naval utility helicopter, the Navy is looking for procure variants indigenous advanced light helicopter, okay, and light utility helicopters for modified ship operations according to defense source, okay. And I think okay, same things are there. I don't see anything new. So naval version of advanced light helicopter and light utility helicopter is warranted by Navy, okay. Now let's see. Woman stand firm on her intersex baby. This can be a case study of I'll say what. First read the news. Amid the father reluctance to accept the child, Odisha administration steps in. So Odisha it is. Woman in Odisha has resolved to raise alone her baby that is believed to be intersex, a combination of male and female biological trait, as a single person after father apparently abandoned the newborn. Okay, so father has apparently abandoned the newborn because it is believed to be intersex. Okay, seeing the physical condition, the father wanted baby to be put in shelter home. However, the mother remained strong and resolute. Baby is a gift of God. After bearing the baby for months, I cannot abandon it because intersex condition. Jaipur district administration, how could it's Jajpur, intervene to protect the baby from being discriminated against. We have put 2 district level officers to track the issue. The district social welfare officer has been assigned counsel the man not to absolve his basic duty as a father and husband. If father holds his ground and mother decides to raise the children alone, the district administration will mobilize financial assistance required for looking after the child. Okay, so district administration will come in to look after the child, and father has apparently abandoned the newborn. Okay, so this is a case study for what? Case study for what? Related to ethics, in ethics plus human choice plus discrimination based on RRCSP, birth, etc. Right? In these things it can be written women abuse, women and child challenge. This is also one of the case study for that also, right? So with this we have ended this news as well. Let's see if anything else is remaining. Let us move forward. I don't think anything was there on this page. Yes, government capex to spur job manufacturing, says finance ministry. Impact to boost tax contribution to the exchequer. Okay, the focus of capital expenditure in recently announced budget for current fiscal year will boost manufacturing and tax revenue collections, thereby keeping India on track to be coming 5 trillion economy by okay by 20. So what is the value of our economy right now? 3.2, about 3.2 billion dollars, right? It is current estimates. Okay, so tax revenue grew by a record of 34% to 27.07 lakh crores. Fine, this translated into increased revenue collection. It is GDP's effort and GST's effort, right? And the government is positive that they will be achieving 5 trillion economy in very less time now. It's about, okay, it is 3.2 trillion right now. As I've said, it is 3.2 trillion. Okay. All those things are there only. I don't think there is many important things. These are all monthly data, not required. Fine, just know these things. We have crossed about 3 billion economy on the means GDP value. We are about 3.15, 3.2 right now currently placed. Okay, So let's see anything else is remaining and how this impact will boost contribution to exchequer. Look, it's very simple dynamics. Wait, yes, now it is cool. The dynamics is that increase in government expenditure capex means capital creation, okay, means increase investment as a thing, or say opposite, okay, capital creation, it will lead to job creation to use this capital, this will lead to increased what, money in hand in general, and this will lead to increased taxation, increase expenditure, etc., right? So by this the government is trying to revive the demand in the economy which was severely hit by COVID-19 lockdown and economic challenges, right? Singapore Korean led Asian Central Bank inflation battle. Bank of Korea unexpectedly lifted rate, MAS tightened policy. Singapore and Korea both triggered the monetary policy on Thursday, hot on heels of rates hike in Canada and New Zealand, as global policymakers moved quickly to prevent soaring inflation from derailing a fragile economic recovery. While the four central banks began tightening policy last year of stem prices rises caused by COVID-19 driven logistic bottlenecks, the war in Ukraine, which started February 24, has since intensified supply pressures. Okay, so the war has led to supply pressure, highlighting the urgency for policymakers to bring forward the planned rate hike. We are likely to see more Asian central bank pushing forward the time of interest rate hikes. Okay, so what had happened by interest rate hikes? What will be done? It will lead to curbing of inflation. Okay, so what is the global problem today post COVID-19 war? What is the global challenge? Inflation is one of the global challenge. Even economic survey has said that inflation is one of the challenge, right? So in that capacity we have to understand that for curbing such inflation, what is happening, many of the Asian banks like Singapore and Korean Asian bank, lead bank or the central bank has done what has led to increasing the benchmark rates that would lead to decreased supply of money in the economy and would therefore curb inflation, right? And it is expected that other Asian countries or other countries of the world will also follow the same to curb inflation. Right now RBI has not taken such a stance, but it is by its MPC statement, it is very positive to take such stance in very near future, right? So okay, now this is the sports page, nothing to do here as usual. Okay, fine. So we have done analysis of the news. Now we shall move forward for analysis of the editorial and explain page, right? So let us first do the explainer page. The first one is red star over Solomon Islands, means China entered in the Solomon Island by somehow. Let's see what is this controversy over China Solomon Island security cooperation deal. What does this mean for geopolitics of South Pacific? So one thing is clear, where is Solomon Island? In South Pacific, right? The social media leak of draft security cooperation document between China and Solomon Island has created huge controversy as it has potential to disrupt the established security mechanism in South Pacific region. The document, among the other stipulations, has provisions for China naval vessels to utilize island for logistic supports. There has been a speculation that in wake of this revelation that China might be building next overseas naval base in Solomon Island after Djibouti. All Western powers have reacted strongly to this news. Australia, the regional great power, has reacted with boosted finances and by extending its current security mission in the island. The US has responded by considering reopening embassy in Honiara after 29-year gap. China political clout in the region will be heavily opposed both domestically and internationally. Okay, so yes, it is true, China often flexes its muscle. So this is the new case of China flexing diplomatic muscle power in Solomon Islands, right? And there is a heavy opposition both internally, Honiara and internationally by AUKUS, UK, US. Okay, Australia, UK and US. Fine. So let's see the next news. Understanding the sovereign debt crisis in Sri Lanka. We know that Sri Lanka government will temporarily default on its debt payment because of the economic crisis, the dire economic crisis in Sri Lanka. How is the island nation planning to rejuvenate its foreign reserves? Sovereign debt refers to the debt issued or accumulated by any government. Government usually find it easier to borrow and repay in their local currency, as they can easily create fresh local currency. But debt denomination in foreign countries, say US dollar, is difficult to repay, as one depends upon consistent flow of US dollar into the economy. Okay, so what is good for government? If government has to repay the debt in its own currency, then it's very good. If they don't have money, they will print it out. Yes, there will be inflation in the country, but they will get out of the debt trap, debt thing, right? But when they have to pay in US dollar or any other very strong currency, then what happens? Then they have to maintain a supply, consistent flow of US dollar into their economy. Then only they can pay in that denomination, right? But what had happened? Sri Lanka depends heavily on its tourism sector for bringing necessary foreign exchange. Since pandemic, tourism has been very hard hit. In turn, it has affected the flow of US dollar into Sri Lankan economy. So what had happened? US dollar has stopped entering almost Sri Lankan economy due to COVID-19 pandemic hitting the tourism sector, and thus its foreign reserve deteriorated, and finally it has to now temporarily do what? It has to temporarily default on its debt payment, right? So this is the entire story. It has been going on for some time. Okay, nothing here. So now let's see the editorial directly. Here it is. Restore India's heritage of shared peoplehood. Yes, the sweeping of hatred in a new and menacing dimension now is belittling the constitution and betraying the people. Okay, let's see. The Gladstonian liberal John Maldway opposed imperial and supported the Irish rule movement, but he has a dim view of India's aspiration for freedom. There is, I know, wrote Maldway, a school of thought who says that we might wisely walk out of India and that Indians can manage their own affairs better than we can. Anyone who pictures for himself the anarchy, the bloody chaos that would follow, might shrink from that sinister decision. Disapproving of reformist enlargement to India's franchisee and representation, he rebuked the reformers with searing words. When across the dark distance you hear the sullen roar and scream of carnage and confusion, your heart will reproach you with what you have done. Okay. Quoting these two observations from Morley's in an essay on the man, Winston Churchill wrote in his great contemporaries, obviously only time can show whether his fears were groundless. Okay. Prognosis, right or wrong? Today, as we approach the 75th anniversary of India's freedom, we may ask if time has disapproved those grim prognosis contained in Morley's keyword. Is there anarchy in India? Absolutely not. Ours may be called by observer a turbulent democracy. True, some of our leaders often forget the law, forget that there is such thing as Constitution of India, and many politicians speak with hatred in their mind and poison on their tongue with impunity. That does not make India a lawless desert. Is there a bloody chaos? Of course not. Yes, there are moments of mayhem, hours of bedlam, days of havoc. Our legislatures know pandemonium. Our government officials know disarray. But bloody chaos, no way. Our chaotic moments can be bad, but they are not bloody. Is there confusion? Yes, there is. It is something new, and it has been deliberately sown, assiduously nurtured. It is about what our national identity is, what as we people are in our core being. India has been through ages about 3 C's: caste, creed and country. The first is a matter of kinship, the second is a matter of worship, and third is about citizenship. Oh my god, what a very good line. The first two are about high sentiments and third is about high ideas. Leaders of India's Renaissance did not want the first two to engulf the third. They wanted to first become irrelevant, second become private, and third to engage us. Today caste has more to point to the point. Today caste and more to the point religion are engulfing the country. Hindu-Muslim divide is at its sharpest ever since independence. Okay, let's see. It's his view. I don't see eye to eye with this, that Hindu-Muslim divide is at sharpest ever since independence. Yes, there are instances, but we don't see this thing happening a lot. Okay, let's see what he has to say. And do we hear the sullen roar and scream of carriage? One has to beware. In West Bengal, Yeats' word. The bloody dimmed tide is loosed, and the ceremony of innocence is drowned. to hear that roll and scream. If these two fearsome sounds has been heard for the first and the last time in India when India was partitioned, one might have led to the horrible trauma residing in our collective memories. But no, just as it has happened many times before India became independent and happened at hour of freedom, it has happened afterwards again and over again. Where did it happen last? One can say yesterday. One can say yesterday every day, knowing that the yesterday can spew into today and any day. Diminishing India. The Hindu-Muslim divide growing to a new and menacing proportion diminishes our country, debases its greatness, destroys its heritage of shared peoplehood. Okay, this is a good keyword actually, shared peoplehood. Riots have invariably started over flimsy incidents like fires generally are, but Hindu-Muslim riots have got quickly co-opted by other entities with help of mercenaries to serve the sinister purpose. Entities is a euphemism. We know who they are. They belonging to both denominations. Who started the disturbances on Ram Navami Day? Yes, I was expecting this to come. I was thinking that yes, it should relate somehow to that only. We are unlikely to ever know. Who gained? We will and already do know. Nameless, faceless, soulless manipulators. Who lost? Who suffered? Is tragically known as well. Hindu and Muslim innocents. But more, beyond those innocents, who bleeds? Our country, its cohesion, its coherence and its conscience. So, four things are there. Country, cohesion, coherence and conscience. Okay. Social media spreads the news of early incident with the speed of light. District authorities in Madhya Pradesh, according to the report, has the house of some of those implicated in rioting demolished. They act surgically. Who came under the blade? Destroyers of public property being made to pay for the destruction is sound. But is it sound to make the wives and children of accused pay by rendered ruthless? Gandhi is fast. In 1924, terrible Hindu-Muslim riot scarred the Muslim majority district of Kohat in northwest frontier province. Gandhi went on a 21-day fast in Delhi by way of penance. Emerging from it, greatly weakened, he said in a feeble voice to those gathered around him, "We ought to be able to live together. The Hindus must be able to offer their worship in perfect freedom in their temple, and so should Musalman be able to say their azan and pray with equal freedom in their mosque. If we cannot ensure elemental freedom of worship, then neither Hinduism nor Islam have any meaning." There is no point citing Gandhi today, his ancient history. I can hear the dejected reader say, and my first instinct would be to say, I know, but there are many of them wielding great influence who would demur the stand on secularism taken by the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin. Yes, I was also expecting this to come. In recent policy pronouncement, citing Gandhi and Bhagat Singh has been exemplary. The statement of the Communist Party of India in its just concluded conclaves in Kannauр has been salutary. These complement the traditionally strong position on secularism taken by Indian National Congress and many other parties across the country. Okay, these complements the traditionally strong positions on secularism taken by INC and many other political parties across the country. Very significant has been statement of former Chief Minister of Karnataka, B.S. Yediyurappa, on Ram Navami violence. It is our desire that both Hindu and Muslims should live like children and of same mother. Courts must step in. It is time now for courts of the land to take a stand, with National Human Rights Commission and National Commission for Minorities as their thought partners to uphold the preamble and Article 25 of the Constitution. Okay, so two things are there, 25 and Article and preamble. In S.R. Bomai versus Union of India, the Supreme Court of India held that secularism is one of the basic features of Constitution. So in which case it was held that secularism is one of the basic features? S.R. Bomai case, right? To weaken the freedom of conscience is to weaken the fundamental freedom. The spewing of hatred by inflammatory words and any abetting of those by element in power belittle the Constitution and betray the people of India. It cannot be permitted. Communalism inverts our citizenship, perverts our humanity, subverts our Constitution. Very recently, as many as 100 Muslim residents of Dalwana, a village in Gujarat, Vedgam Taluka, were invited to offer Maghrib Nawaz and break their fast during Ramzan month on premises of Veer Maharaj Mandir, a 1200-year-old temple. When the heart is hard and parched up, comes upon me with a shower of mercy, writes Tagore. In this prevailing heredity, Gujarat has shown grace. That grace has not been lost. We do not have to disapprove Morley and Churchill. We have to prove ourselves and conscience of the Republic. Okay, a very good article. Here he is known to write very good in a very good fashion. But okay, there are points that I agree with him, and there are points that I don't agree. It's totally fine not to agree. Yes, this was wrong. It was actually not. It could be not called wrong. It was against the procedure of law. Okay, law should take its own turn. Law should take its own time. Whatever Madhya Pradesh government has done cannot be justified on the grounds. But yes, they are also to somewhat correct in their decision. Why? Because there should be no tolerance towards any kind of these things, right? Especially riots. Okay, because look, if they would have not acted in that way, okay, the act was not good. It should be taken up by the court, and the court should decide for it. But whatever was required to control the riot and whatever was done was in public interest, more or less. Yes, it is bad that the rioters' children will suffer, but yes, it is also good that the future of children, okay, the future of those children only will be secure, because now they will understand, and the others will also understand, that rioting things and breaking of public property, hitting others, pelting stone, these things are not good. These are crime, and crime can be severely punished. It is the procedural delay in the justice that has led to these things in India, in my opinion, and to prevent these things, it is required. But yes, it should not have been done in that way. There are many other ways, like giving them notice, okay, and asking, because giving them notice, getting their names printed on boards, as was done in Uttar Pradesh, or fining them, or because economic fine is the most cruel form of fine, I suppose. Okay, so these things were there. Yes, the government was wrong to a lot of extent, but yes, it was also needed to restrict the impact of that violence. So yes, in this way we have to take a balanced stand. Although Mr. Gandhi is right in his analysis, but okay, it is understandable sometimes to take harsh stand. Okay, but that does not mean I support government's stance, right? It was just the requirement of time that the action was taken. The action is wrong, and state should be held responsible for that. Fine. So with this, we come to end of this editorial analysis and today's newspaper as well. So I hope that you like it. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. Okay, so I'm ending it right now. Okay, so friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams, and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard and follow your dreams.